Hi, I'm Jill Wenthy. I'm one of the registered dietitians at the Cancer Center, and today I'd like to share some plant-forward recipes with you. I've got 3 different recipes that I'm going to share. They all are less than 10 minutes to get put together for a delicious meal or snack. So I'm going to start off with a Mexican quinoa casserole, and I've already done a little bit of prep for it today. I've taken the quick quinoa packets, and you boil that for about 10 minutes. The nice thing when looking at boxed items is look at the ingredients list. If there's a lot of ingredients in there that you cannot pronounce, you might not want to be picking that box. So this has white quinoa, red quinoa, black quinoa, and that is it. So there's no sodium added, there's no sugar added, there are no fillers. So this is quinoa. So again, I have boiled that up, I put it in my bowl. I've also gotten a can of black beans. I've rinsed those. I did buy the no sodium added just because you don't need the extra salt in this recipe. So there we go. So now we are going to add a bunch of yummy stuff to this. We've got some frozen corn, and it's about a cup of everything that you're adding to this recipe. So we've got our frozen corn. We're going to cut up some cherry tomatoes, and I like to quarter them. What I love about this recipe, like I said, is that it's just whole foods. All of everything we're putting in here is delicious, comes from the earth, and colorful. I like people to include lots of color in their diet. Studies show that plant-based eating is the way to go. People need less medications, they feel better, they have less inflammation in their bodies, they poop better because there's lots of fiber. Fiber also helps to bind to fat and cholesterol and gets it out of our system. So another reason to include lots of fiber in your diet. A lot of the fiber that we're getting in this recipe comes from the skins and hulls and seeds of the fruits and the vegetables. That's the insoluble fiber. Then the flesh of the fruit or vegetables or oatmeal, that's where the soluble fiber comes from. All right, so we've got our yellow vegetable, we've got some red. I'm gonna go with some orange. We've got some green peppers. We're just gonna chop those up, dice them. If you wanted to make it a little spicier, you could even use some jalapenos or habaneros. Gonna do a green pepper next. Just hollow out the middle here. You can preheat your oven to 350. We're gonna put this in the oven for about 20 minutes. Again, it's a pretty quick recipe to put together. So on those busy days, you can come home from work and cut this up and throw it in the oven, and within a half an hour, you've got a delicious meal that you can feel good about. All right, so we've got, onion. I forgot the onion. I've used a red onion here, but if you prefer a sweet onion, you certainly can use that too. And again, I'm putting about a cup to a half a cup of all of these ingredients in this recipe. And then the only thing we're gonna add is cumin. And that is it. I love using lots of herbs and spices because you get lots of healthy antioxidants from them. If you can add a little turmeric to your food, it's got a lot of nice properties to it that help with inflammation. And it doesn't add a ton of flavor, but it does add a lot of color. It kind of turns everything orange. So just beware of that if you're using turmeric. Cinnamon's another really good one that I like to add, especially to, like oatmeal I like to kind of leave my stuff in big chunks. So, I mean, you can dice things up as finely as you'd like in this recipe, or leave it as big as you'd like to. All right. So we're going to put about 2 teaspoons of cumin in here. And then we're going to stir it up. You can, if you would like, you can add a little bit of pepper jack cheese. I've opted not to because I am doing more of a plant-forward recipe today. So I'm not adding the cheese. You can get, obviously plant-based cheeses as well, but I don't think it really needs it. Once you have it mixed up and the cumin's kind of stirred in, then we're going to put it in our baking dish, even it out, and put it in the oven. And then after the Mexican quinoa casserole has baked for about 20 minutes, we're going to get that out of the oven. And then you can serve it with a little bit of avocado. So I've halved my avocado. I've sliced it and diced it a little bit. And then I am going to add a little bit to our casserole. My second recipe also includes quinoa. And what I really like about quinoa is it's a nice whole grain. It also has a good amount of fiber, 3 grams of fiber in a half a cup. And it also has a little bit of protein in it. It's one of the grains that actually contains some protein, or a significant amount of protein. So quinoa is just real versatile. You can have it in soups. You can have it as a side dish. You can have it as a main dish. So again, the quinoa is in. This is a Mediterranean bowl. Again, very easy to put together, very colorful, and lots of plants. And that's what I love about it. So I have gotten some pickled red onion, some Kalamata olives that are already sliced. You're gonna drain those. I like to put a big platter of this together, especially when I'm entertaining. And then people can just kind of grab what they like and put a bowl together. Bowls are just, Mediterranean bowl, a Mexican bowl, they're so versatile. So I encourage people to use those. You need a grain, you need lots of vegetables. If you want to have a sauce, you certainly can. But often you don't even need the sauce, especially when you're using the pickled onion and the Kalamata olives. They make their own sauce in this bowl. So we've got our quinoa, we've got our pickled onions, our Kalamata olives. I have drained some garbanzo beans, canned garbanzo beans. I've used the no sodium ones. Again, they're high in fiber. They've got a lot of protein. They're kind of your meat replacement for this. And then we've got some tomatoes. I'm going to chop or quarter up some tomatoes. And then no Mediterranean dish is complete without some cucumber. So I am going to slice up a nice cucumber. This time of year, the cucumbers in our area are a little bit soft. So I do like to get the English cucumbers. They're the ones that are wrapped in plastic at the grocery store. Obviously, once the farmers markets start, then you can get all of your fresh ingredients from the farmers market. If you can buy local, that's really what we want to do. All right, but unfortunately we do live in the Midwest, so we don't have local fresh fruits and vegetables that we can just go and grab. So these are all of the ingredients. And then I have already put together a little plate. And I've sprinkled it with a little bit of feta cheese. And that is your Mediterranean bowl. And my final recipe is a spicy beet hummus. Now I know what you're all thinking. Beets? Really? Don't they taste like dirt? Well, I am going to encourage you to give this recipe a try. Everyone that has tried it absolutely loves it. You can adjust the spice a little bit. So if you are a hot lover, add the cayenne pepper. If you're not, just back off on it. But this beet hummus, you roast the beets. So you're going to go to the grocery store. You're going to grab a couple of nice big red beets. You peel them a little. You peel the outer layer, cut off each end, dice them up, put a little bit of olive oil, salt, and pepper over them, and bake them for about 45 minutes. So that's roasting the beets. And then you're going to grab a food processor. You're going to use your garbanzo beans. Again, rinse them to get any excess sodium, or use the low sodium version. Put that in your food processor. You're going to add the beets. You're going to put half of a lemon juice in there. I don't add any extra salt, pepper, or olive oil to it, even though the recipe calls for it, because I've already cooked the beets in all of those, so I feel like you're adding enough already. And then you're going to add 2 tablespoons of tahini, which is a sesame seed paste. And then the cayenne pepper to your liking. I believe the recipe calls for about a half a teaspoon. I usually go a little higher on that. And then you're going to blend it up, and look at this beautiful product. It is a deep, dark red. If you use canned beets, you're not going to get this dark color. The nice thing with this hummus is it's very versatile. You can serve it with some Triscuits. What I love about Triscuits, 3 ingredients that you can read: whole grain wheat, sea salt, and olive oil. That's all that's in a Triscuit. Very healthy. I like things that you can read. Again, I already mentioned that once. I'm going to mention it again. If you're buying something from a can or a box that's processed, can you read those ingredients? So I want you to feel good about that. So Triscuits are a good way to enjoy this. Obviously, you can have a variety of different vegetables to enjoy the beet hummus. Or you can add it to a sandwich. It's delicious on a sandwich or a pita. So please enjoy the beet hummus. Give it a try. Have a great day. Thanks for listening.